Evening. Reconvene the open session at 6:13 p.m. Order the action taken closed session to pursue government rule section 549, 57.1. On a vote of 5-0, the board trustees approve the rejection of the claim for damages on behalf of student number 710-45140, item 5D1. Motion by Mr. Next, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Endeavor Assistant Principal Jessica Pita and students and Hernandez.
Good evening. I'm Ms. Pita, one of the assistant principals at Endeavor, and I'm here with two students from Endeavor that are going to help us lead. Excellent.
My name is I'm a seventh grader at
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Go ahead, by recognition.
All right. I'm here to present two ACES awards tonight, and ACES stands for Achieving a Culture of Exceptional Service. First off, I'd like to recognize Araceli Gayton. Join us up here, please. And I'm going to read what a parent. Yeah. Mrs. Johnson, are you in the room? There you are. Okay, Mrs. Johnson, she's right there. I had to say about Ms. Gayton. It is with great admiration and respect that I recommend Ms. Gayton for the ACES Award in recognition of her unwavering support for students and her innovative, student-centered teaching strategies. Throughout her time with my student, Ms. Gayton has consistently demonstrated a profound dedication to student success, both academically and personally. Her classroom is a welcoming and inclusive environment where every student feels seen, heard, and valued. Whether it's through personalized learning plans, behavior supports, or simply offering a listening ear, Ms. Gayton goes above and beyond to ensure that all students have the tools and confidence they need to thrive each and every day. For these reasons and many more, I wholeheartedly recommend Ms. Gayton for this well-deserved recognition. Thank you, Ms. Johnson, and thank you, Ms. Gayton. And Ms. Gayton is a Cubs teacher over at Discoveries. That's a tough job. Thank you. Second one, Denny Zavala. Denny works in the risk management department. Ms. Gayton, Mrs. Gayton. Leah Burnquist, and she's the instructional coach at Monte Vista Elementary School, wrote this. Since August, I've been dealing with a Kaiser insurance issue. Oh boy. In the beginning, Zenny took the time to walk me through the process. A few months later, when Kaiser was still giving us trouble, Zenny went above and beyond and made several phone calls to help fix the situation. Fast forwarding to a few months, we were having the same issues with Kaiser. Shocker. Zenny participated in a conference call with all the parties, explained the situation, helped get it fixed, and also used Danielle Gates assisted as well. Then he continued working to resolve the issue and kept me informed of her progress through multiple emails and phone calls. What has been a giant pain in the neck for months has finally been resolved thanks to Zenny going above and beyond. I appreciate her perseverance and compassion while trying to resolve this issue. Okay. Good job. Oh, yeah.
Additional items? Robert?
So as of yesterday, our UTK through 8th grade enrollment was 13,951 students. Early learning had 487 students for a total of 14,438. This is a gain of 9 students from the last board report and a loss of 205 students in the same period last year.
And our home.
Yes, of those students are 1,158 identify as homeless, 340 as foster students, and 707 students have one or both parents in the armed forces.
Confirmation of bond sale costs.
Well, this is a kind of a new item. I don't think they had this requirement the last time that we sold a series of bonds, but and the state has regularly added new levels of oversight to us. And one of the things is reporting out to the public the cost of issuance for this particular series of bonds. And so that's what's contained in the item, showing a breakdown of the different service providers, the attorneys, the financial advisors, West Bank, and what those corresponding costs were. All of those were paid from the bond proceeds.
Thank you very much. We have curriculum highlights in Denver Middle School, highlights by Principal George Lopez, assistant principals Jessica Pita and Todd Parker, teachers Jennifer Greenwell and Ann Medilla. Student.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
It's a pleasure to see you.
Always a pleasure to see you. So I would like to thank the board, Dr. Marietti, and the executive cabinet for having us out. I'm going to go ahead and speak about the wonderful things happening at Endeavor. We have a great art program, a great music program, archery program. I was trying to bring out the archery, but Todd wouldn't let them shoot the apple off of his head. Maybe next time. The great music program. But the one I want to go ahead and highlight today is our co-teaching model. So I'm going to go ahead and invite Ms. Greenwell and Mr. Dio to come on up and speak. And they brought more support.
Co-teaching is not just one teacher, it's a lot. Not the tech person. So in a co-teaching model, I do not do the tech. That would be. So this is just a snapshot of some of the teams have resource teachers, along with our paraeducators, along with some of the general education teachers, kind of in all different settings. So co-teaching is an instructional model where 2 educators, typically a general education teacher and a special education teacher, work together in the same classroom to plan, instruct, and assess a group of students. The goal is to provide all of our students, including those with special needs, access to the general education curriculum in a supportive and collaborative environment. When I first started this process this year, I was very hesitant to co-teach. This is only my 3rd year teaching. So I'm an older new teacher, but I was very hesitant to collaborate daily with somebody. I think it's made a huge difference in my teaching and also in the students that I have in my classroom. We've seen a lot of growth and we see a lot more confidence because they don't know that they're in there getting special help. They're just getting the help that they need when they need it.
Comes to the inclusion, right? So inclusion is the educational practice of placing students with disabilities in general education classrooms alongside with their non-disabled peers. The idea again is that all students, regardless of their ability, belong to the same classroom community and benefit from learning together. So in our co-taught classrooms, the students are working side by side. Again, they don't know general education teacher from special education teacher. We're all just teachers there. Inclusion promotes equity, respect, and belonging for all of our students. When our goal is that when they leave, again, they've come in with a lot of them. You see, they're very shy. They're very worried about how they're going to fit in and where they're going to fit. And we're seeing a lot of growth. We see when they leave that they don't feel outside. They feel like they belong. And that's really our goal in the co-teaching model, is to make sure that they understand that every child belongs in every classroom, regardless of each individual needs.
So through the co-teaching model at Endeavor Middle School, we effectively support our resource students requiring specialized academic instruction, while also identifying and assisting students who may be at risk for a learning disability. This collaborative approach equips teachers with a range of targeted interventions to support students' academic growth and contributes valuable insight to the students' team process when needed.
One of the things with the SST process, and one of the things again with the co-teaching, is allows us to really look at all of the students and reduce that over-identification that we're seeing and that we've seen in previous years, right? We're able to touch on those students that we can see are starting to struggle and work directly with the teachers and get them the interventions that they can that can help them to avoid, oh, okay, well, we just need to go straight to assessment, right?
And here are some pictures of our kids. If you look at the top left, that's me in the classroom with my paraeducator, and that's the small group that we put together. The small groups are really effective because it kind of forces the kids to be more engaged and participate more. The kids love the small groups, and I love the small groups. Having the 3 teachers allows us to do that. The small groups will usually be like me and then my paraeducator, and then we'll have our core teacher who is like circulating in the room or giving the whole class instruction.
Other pictures just kind of show, again, they touch in different areas. You can see in the middle at the bottom, you know, our students are presented in front of the class. They're not as nervous. He was very shy at the beginning of the school year. He went up there, he owned it, he did amazing. Again, in the bottom, you can see as well, we have students who weren't sure where they fit in our school and were nervous about trying out for sports and just what to do. And so they've grown, and we have students that were on our championship basketball team this year that were super excited to be there and to know that they have it all over.
Hi. So accommodations and interventions. General education and special education teachers collaborate to effectively implement student accommodations, support services, and universal design for learning, or UDL, strategies. And it ensures that all students have equitable opportunities for success. And what I really like about the accommodations and interventions, we're not only utilizing it with our special education students, but a lot of the general education students are benefiting from having those, many of the same accommodations that we are allowing for our students that have IEPs.
One of the things that they don't realize is, you know, I mean, it is a multi-tier support system, right? That's what we're really working in with that across all boards. And one of the things that I think that general education teachers don't get that extra added support when they're in their program. And so we get to be those people that come in and really show them all of these interventions, these accommodations that are designed for all students that are all tier one intervention. And be able to show them, okay, well, if this isn't working, maybe we need to go to a tier two intervention. Okay, well, this is what a tier two intervention looks like, and things that so again, working on both areas of strength. The curricular experts, they're like, okay, well, this is what we're working on. This is our lesson planning and stuff. So now how can we best support all students? Really focus on that UDL so that we can have, again, all students, and have the support that each individual student. And then, of course, because, data, right? Special education, we're all about the data, well, everybody is. So this is just to show that how much our students are growing, how much they are gaining from these co-teaching models. This is to show the difference between the beginning of this year and just middle year. And if you can see all the lines underneath the bar, those are the lines of students that really didn't meet growth yet. But we have one more diagnostic so that we're gonna get to see. And as you can see, it's very minimal. I mean, they're rocking it. I mean, they're doing really, really well. They're working closely with their peers to gain, one of the things that we know, one of the biggest strategies, right? is you're taught your relationships, they're gonna learn more from each other most of the time than us. So, and it really does show, it shows in the data.
So just some thoughts about the co-teaching model. From my peer educator, been part of implementing the Endeavor RSP co-teaching model for sixth grade for the past 2 years. Makes the data collection, ensuring students are receiving their service minutes so much easier. But the classroom inclusion has done wonders in fostering social skills and helping to reduce the feelings of isolation that students sometimes feel. From our sixth grade teacher, Mr. Hendricks, the additional support provided by my co-teaching team has been instrumental in promoting the success of both general ed and special education students. And got from one of our parents, been impressed by the responsibility from my son's needs at Endeavor Middle School, and in particular, having Ms. Greenwell assigning him has helped enormously. She's able to help him in multiple classrooms with the different teachers. This help has made his recent academic growth possible. And for us, exciting to see. We do engagement with school, very happy to see. Do not think this would have been possible without Ms. Greenwell or someone like her. We also have some quotes from some of our students. She's a sixth grader. How I feel about the co-teacher is I feel like they help me, and some explain different from others. They are really nice. They teach me new things. They help me in ways that I can barely explain. They help me a lot with stuff I need help with. Every time I ask for help, they come and help me. One of our seventh graders, I enjoyed being in Mr. Hendricks' co-taught class last year with Mrs. Greenwell, Ms. Kendall. I feel like I learned a lot and got a lot of support. I miss being in that class. It helps me with my work so I can focus. The seventh grader, we got eighth grader here. I like being in a bigger class while still getting the support that I need. And one more, I like that if one of the teachers is busy, the other can help me out. Also, they both teach at the same level.
All students, as you can see, those quotes, those were mixed. Those were mixed of students that have received SAI services and students don't. Can't tell which one is which. And that's the goal of co-teaching. Not singling. They don't have the same label on their permit. They know that they belong.
The key things that's happening in these classrooms is we are seeing less discipline problems. So we're looking to expand that out toward more of the campus. And this is my presentation, but I would like to thank Ms. Greenwell, Ms. Ariola, Broadband, Preciado, Badil, Mr. Parker, PETA, super extraordinary para Lala, Ariel, yeah. So, want to thank you guys very much. Questions, comments, criticisms? Me and the doctor dressed alike today.
Well, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When you showed the pictures of the students in the smaller class size,
Looks like it's. That's.
Yeah.
Don't get no-
okay, I thought it was maybe a smaller class size, which,
It's 35.
They're in there with 35 kids.
okay.
Yeah. Right, it's just like, and the small groups work really. That, you know, up in smaller groups, so it does feel like you're getting more individualized.
Is the instruction math, science?
We focus on our core classes, so we focus on our really.
Not going to give me a hard time today. Mr.
George, are you in there teaching also?
If I'm asked to, I will go.
I don't-
Thank you very much.
Well, guys, you're gonna have to be on your best. So, as you. That's the. Hear that? Oh, that's awareness, not your friend. Oh. Okay. Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much, Endeavor, and I really like the concept of the universal teaching and not making students feel different than other students in the class. I think that's a very big improvement. I think it's very important that we allow them to feel the same and still be able to get the assistance that they need. So thank you very much. Next, we'll move on to presentation and request proposal reports. I lead charter school update.
Good evening. I'm Nicole Kent, former director at iLead Lancaster, and now I'm the director of leadership and network relations with iLead California. And I'm Deborah Audrey, school director. Just going to go through a couple of the highlights. So our learner retention has maintained pretty steady over the years. Over the last 5 years, we managed to maintain roughly around the same amount of learners every year. We hold steady in our enrollment, and we hold steady in our staff retention has also held pretty steady. We did have a little bit of a dip. When we change, when you change leadership, sometimes people move on or whatever. Our enrollment is sitting at about 795 as of census day. We're roughly about 45% Hispanic and 33% African American. We kind of mirror what your district mirrors. Our EL learners decreased this year, but also last year we reclassified a large number of learners, which allowed us to land in the mid-track on our dashboard, and so that's why you see kind of a dip in the number. Our special education number, however, has increased, and that's I think one of the things is that we do offer a full inclusion program through all of our grades, K through 8. And so, like what they were just presenting, we have a very very similar model. And so I think that allows, and we offer, our special ed learners range from mod severe to all the way up. So I think that's why our numbers continue to increase. People kind of want that. So our suspension rates have stayed steady over the years. We have not had any expulsions. And our SBAC scores, so for math and ELA, we've had some increase over the years, 22% in ELA and 11% math. Science, however, did take a dip from last year, from the previous year to this year, but we put some interventions in place to kind of move there. And as you can see, like our test scores have increased, and we're almost at, not even almost, we are where we were when COVID started. So I know like across the board, people have seen loss post-COVID, and now we're finally put so many things in place to kind of get us back there. So we're on an upward trend, which is great. And then we use MAP and WEA MAP data to kind of track and see where we're going and track our progress. And so what this tells us is that once we test them in fall and get a baseline data, then we can test again, in spring. That tells us the growth of our learners. And so what this number is telling us is that in both math and ELA, a majority of the learners are making at least 1 year. Some are making more than that, but some are making at least 1 year. Now, it does not always reflect in the CAS scores because oftentimes we get kids that are 2, 3, and sometimes even 4 years below. So if we're making like 1 year, 2 year gain, it doesn't always translate, but we are closing that gap. And then, okay. So our other data indicators for 23-24, with our chronic absenteeism, we were at 42.04, and our suspensions 5.62. We have a lot of things, chronic absenteeism, we have resources, we do awards, social worker that helps us with that. Our socioeconomically disadvantaged, as you can see, it has increased throughout from 2021, where we are right now, 24-25. And then for our finances, Lancaster holds a very, very healthy budget. With all that one-time money and all the things, they hold a very healthy budget. We have a positive net income. We're projected over the next 3 years. There is a dip in revenue, but that's just because we have some one-time funds that are going to be ending. And so that's going to show like a little bit of a dip in funding, but they do have a healthy budget. Their fund balance has grown from 6.9 to 7.2 million. So they're in a really, really good position. I know you have a copy of the presentation, but this is kind of how we allocate our funds with the LCAP. And then we received LLP funds. So I know that number seems relatively large for a little tiny school, but we had some money roll over from the previous year. And so that's kind of why. So some of the things that we do with our ELO program, we have a super robust after school program with interventions, with clubs and sports and dance and all the things. And we have STEM, we have music production. So we have all these things that are helping that we're using the ELLP funds to do. We do summer session. We've been doing Saturday schools. Coming up in the 25-26 school year, charter schools will now be able to use ELLP funds to work on for chronic absenteeism to kind of to regain some of the ADA there. It won't change the chronic absenteeism number, but it will help with ADA. So we'll continue to do that work. And we have our after school enrichment program. So what are we doing to close the achievement gap? So as you can see in mathematics, we do a lot of things. We push in for math. We have math support intervention. We have our core instruction, Bridges, and CPM math curriculum. Bridges intervention, still to math 180. We have a math coach, tutors, as look at how we do just tutoring. And we also are very big on professional development. We also push in for reading intervention. We have a program called
Five, which is from the University of Florida, Literacy Institute, which is foundation reading for K through 2. We have our open up resources. We use resources such as Dreambox, Read 180. We also do interventions in small groups. We have literacy coaches, and we do professional development.
Our math data, like you said, you can see the growth all the way through, and so because it's above the -0.2, it shows that the kids are growing every year.
And as you can see, our learner outcomes from fall to spring, the light color is fall, and the darker color is spring. And as you can see, our learner outcomes are growing and expanding as we. Some of our successes, as we mentioned earlier, we are on the mid-track for the charter performance category. Our intervention program is robust, as we were just sharing. We have big support when it comes to counseling and social emotional support. We are a restorative practice school, so we do a lot of that. We have our enrichment programs, our sports programs. We were really big on that, basketball, soccer, track, cross country, a lot of things, and we have a lot of community and family engagement. And again, some of the programs, enrichment programs, STEM, Mesa Club, we have a music program, we have choir, arts club, we have a sports program. I just mentioned some things. We have a dance cheer team that's new to us this year, which is really big, ballroom dancing, which we have some awards. And some of the major projects we do, just to focus on a few, we have a glider project where our 8th graders learn to fly. We have our Dream Up to Space, where we go to the Space Center and put things up in space, shark dissections, and Finance Park, where we had our 8th graders who just went on a field trip and they were able to learn real world application of finance.
That is our presentation. We thank you for your time. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I have a question regarding the finance park. Where was that located?
It's in LA, so it's a company that basically what they do is they give us curriculum for the year. The kids do a little bit of simulation throughout the year, and then at the end they have a field trip where they go and they set up like a place where it's like they can go and they can pay their rent and they can pay their bills and they can they have a fake job and they learn how to balance a checkbook and all the things that you would do as an adult.
Okay, so they're actually going there and learning how to budget.
Yes, yeah. So throughout the year, in our advisory time, they learn how to actually do finance, like what their personal finance is going to look like, and then they go and they simulate it and they.
And where do you get the sharks?
Well, so yeah, we did shark dissections, which was actually kind of cool. They're like little baby sharks, and we just ordered them from a science company. They do like a box of these fried sharks, and you do the things. This is our 2nd year. This is our 6th grade team that does it, and so now it's a thing. So now our learners are looking forward to it. When you go to 6th grade, you're going to have the opportunity to dissect the shark.
There's not much to them.
No, not really.
I used to catch them out of Florida.
But that's one of the things about us with PBL is that some of the things are legacy projects. And so as you're growing up as a learner with us, you'll say, oh, when I get to 8th grade, I'm going to fly in the glider. When I get to 7th grade, I'm going to send an experiment up to space. When I'm in 6th grade, I'm going to dissect a shark. When I'm in 2nd grade, they do a farm project and they grow fruits and vegetables and stuff. So it's kind of a thing, and the kids get excited about their options as they're growing through our school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on to multi-record precipitation.
All right. Thank you, board, Dr. Marietti, executive cabinet, and members for letting me come up here. I am a longtime listener, first-time caller. So excited to be up here. I'm going to go over a few little things, kind of like about the department as well. This will be primarily focused around multi-factor authentication, but I thought I'd take this opportunity to kind of give you guys a little idea of snapshot and what we do on the ITS department. So in ITS, we manage about 600,000 accounts. On the hardware side, we also manage about 1,200 wireless access points, 150 servers. We have 500 network switches, about 1,000 cameras, 850 ViewSonics, another 3,300 Windows PCs, about 30,000 Chromebooks, and 1,000 iPads. The number is a lot larger. There's a lot of discussion, and we're looking at kind of like what our tablet options look like for the future too. So we've got a pretty heavy tech stack there. And the people managing this are our site computer technicians. We have one at every school site and two at the district office. The two at the district office kind of serve as our help desk. So call in with their issues, they can remote in and get kind of support with that. And whoever is kind of like not providing support online is able to go and then support the district office as well. On my data team, we have 5. Those are focused on student information system support and a lot of our data systems. So a lot of that rostering that we need to do, making sure that those people have accounts. They're a big reason why we manage 600,000 accounts. Administration, that's me and my secretary. And then on the infrastructure team, we have 4 and currently have an open position. And their focus is on keeping the technology working. So it's kind of like they look at all that device management servers and services. So jumping into why do we need multi-factor authentication or MFA? I won't read this entire quote here, but it does kind of like highlight something that is a typical designator for the education sector in the United States. And that is that the education sector is a target-rich cyber poor environment, meaning that we are essentially the low-hanging fruit when it comes to threat actors looking at it, kind of like attacking us. So moving on to another one is CISA, which is the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Administration out of the Department of Homeland Security. Says for K-12 schools, cyber incidents are so prevalent that on average, there is more than 1 incident per school day. And then Sophos, which is a major antivirus or endpoint detection and response provider, says that over 90% of ransomware attacks on lower education in 2024 were due to an exploited vulnerability, compromised credentials, or a malicious email. We, as the Lancaster School District, have and are experiencing phishing that can steal your passwords if you simply click on the PDF attachment. So what happens that we've seen is a phishing email is sent out. The user clicks on it and it goes through and it steals all your passwords, not only from the Google Chrome, say that you're logged into, but it'll also go through, if you have Outlook set up, it'll pull those out of there. If you have Edge, if you use Firefox, it will literally just harvest all those credentials. So what do the threat actors do once they have access to an account? They conduct follow-on phishing attacks using that account to kind of like increase their access and attack vectors. So what you'll see is, teacher A gets phished, and then the threat actor uses their account. So then teacher A then sends out phishing to teachers B through, F. And so you see kind of like this follow-on phishing happens kind of like on a quick turnaround. The other thing they look to do is steal data. So you've seen that in, you're starting to see that in more and more attacks as they're going along. The other thing that they look to do is try to gain access to other parts of the network or any other platforms. And they'll look to kind of like escalate that access. So if they have basic user access, they'll try to see what they can do to try to escalate that to like an administrator access. And then they look to deploy malware as well when they get that access. So when we say multi-factor authentication or MFA, what do we mean? there are essentially kind of like, as the graphic shows, there are kind of three components to a factor. One is something you know, that's considered a factor. So it can be a PIN number or it can be a password. Another factor can be something that you have. So that can be an authenticator app, a little token, or something like a confirmation text on your cell phone. And then a third factor is something you are. So that would be like a fingerprint scan or a face scan. So when we say multi-factor authentication, that's difference is you need to put together the different factors. If you have, say for example, I have a PIN number and a password, and that's what I'm using. Well, the concern is, well, the PIN number could be potentially harvested in that same type of attack, you know, where they kind of grab your passwords. And so you need to kind of mix up those different factors to ensure that if one component of it is compromised, you still have the other to secure it and to secure your account. Users who enable MFA are significantly less likely to get hacked. And so then, you know, if a malicious actor compromises your password or your PIN or something like that, if they compromise one factor, the idea is that you have the other factors to keep them from getting access to your account. So the ITS has been researching options for multi-factor authentication, and we landed on Duo. Duo provides these options as you are logging in. So it will have you prompt you for your username, it'll prompt you for your password, and then it'll give you options to either use a security key, which is kind of like a little hardware piece that we'll be showing you guys a little later. Duo Push, which is a push to a cell phone, so it's a push notification. That does require that you have the Duo app downloaded and installed on your device. A Duo Mobile Passcode also. That is a rotating 6-digit kind of like generated one that also requires that Duo Mobile app. The nice thing about the Duo Mobile Passcode is a push notification requires that you have cell phone coverage. And we know sometimes in the Antelope Valley, cell phone coverage is a little iffy in some places. And so that passcode is something where it can be completely kind of like offline, essentially. So you can kind of just open that up and plug that in, regardless of what your coverage looks like. And then finally, if you don't have any of those, we have a bypass code, and that's kind of like, that's an ability that the IT department has to still be able to get you through. This picture is an example of what is that little hardware token, that UB key. The Duo app is available on both the Apple Play Store and Google Play Stores, and that's a little icon that kind of shows what it looks like in those stores. It is from it is owned by Cisco, which is a global technology provider. So it's pretty easy to use. It has enterprise grade support. So if something goes wrong, it's going to be going wrong for pretty much the entire planet. Any questions on that? I know it's a little serious.
The activation code for us to activate?
Yes, so you guys are part of our initial phase, which we're pushing out for our Parkview and district office staff. So they'll receive, you and they will receive an enrollment email. It'll say, hey, please set this up. It'll have a link to kind of like get everything set up. And then beginning on the 12th is when it will start prompting you for that multi-factor setup. And I think we actually do have the actual keys for you guys here as well. Charlie, are you available to pass this out? Let's go.
Is Google being targeted?
Everybody's being targeted. So with, I would say everybody's being targeted, and with the prevalence of single sign-on capabilities. So we use Google as our primary kind of like, it's called an identity provider. And so by us placing this multi-factor authentication in front of Google, and that means once you do that multi-factor authentication, then you're logged into Google. And so if we have Google SSO set up, so if we have Google set up for PowerSchool, if we have Google set up for Gmail, if we have Google single sign-on set up for all these platforms, it only protects these platforms, but it makes it a lot easier for you to log in because you're only prompted one time to essentially initiate that access for that to get into that platform. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, I've just heard that Google has been targeted.
Yeah, and in this day and age, everybody's targeted and they're targeted on a very consistent basis, especially the major players. And so that's why it helps to ensure that, you know, whatever solution you're looking for is essentially kind of like enterprise grade. Yeah. So when you're logging in, you put in your username, then you put in your password, and then you'll have that little prompt as it showed right there. And then so you just select, oh, I'm using the key. You plug the key in, press the button, boom, you're in. You don't have to keep the key plugged in. You don't have to keep pressing the button. It's just that one time when you're logging in. It'll probably be easier to, you can use it for a phone, but it's primarily going to be for any kind of like computing device that you have. Maybe for any laptops or
Maybe with like a laptop, would be happy to provide one for you. Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Hearing the closure of Leadership Academy. Public hearing will be held at this time to receive input on the proposed closure of the Leadership Academy, effective June 6, 2025. We'll open this hearing at 7 p.m.
All right, good evening. So we wanted to provide a real quick overview of the closure of the Leadership Academy, make sure that there was a general understanding of purposes to why and where things were going and what we were doing at this particular point. So the purpose of the closure of the Leadership Academy is to kind of give you some information. The Leadership Academy recently, or as of February 3rd, was serving 39 K through 8 students and will be closing at the end of the 24-25 school year. This decision was made for a couple of different reasons. To promote greater inclusion by mainstreaming students back into the comprehensive school environments, and to reduce exclusionary disciplinary practices that disproportionately impact students in alternative educational settings. In order to relocate the students, all students from TLA will be transitioned or have been transitioned to Monte Vista in grades 2 through 3, Discovery Elementary grades 3 through 4, and we've had Sierra take 2 students into their Cubs classes. Each family and student were communicated with to assure them of the positive nature of the change for each of these students, and students in grades 5 through 8 have been returned to their neighborhood schools. The rationale and the reasoning for this is that TLA serves students with high needs and significant prior challenges in traditional school settings. While small, it did have a 12-to-1 student to teacher ratio. The schools showed that there was persistently low academic performance in both ELA and math, exceptionally high suspension rates, as is received by the data that was been provided to you based on the equity impact report. That reached up to 64.1% in the 23-24 school year, far above the district average of 3.2%. Integrating students into comprehensive schools with targeted supports will improve access to resources, inclusion, and engagement. Equity and support and support measures. We are going to ensure and have ensured a successful and equitable transition. Mental health support and site-based administrative monitoring is provided at receiving schools. So we have principals working with, closely working with students in some of these classes. I was just as recently, I was at Discovery this afternoon, speaking with their ILT, the instructional leadership team, and was assured that that was happening, and I've actually observed it myself and have seen some real positive impacts for some of the students in those schools, in those classes, have moved back into that school. We were also able to maintain the classes for which the students were enrolled. They were intact and at the receiving elementary schools. So both Discovery and Monte Vista kept their classes intact when we moved them over. So the impact to the community, there is a minimal disruption to the local community dynamics as anticipated to the fact that these students didn't come specifically from the neighborhood for which TLA was observed to sit. So many of the students were across the district. This closure is expected to enhance representation and belonging by reintegrating students into a broader school community as well. There is a commitment to equity, absolutely. The decision aligns with the Lancaster School District's strategic plan to foster a culture of belonging and to ensure equitable access to educational opportunities for all students. So I just wanted to make sure that there was a general understanding before we move forward with this. What the process would be is that tonight we'll be we're conducting the public hearing. On May 20th, we would bring a resolution for closure, and then on June 6th, the closure would commence.
Thank you, Dr. Goins. Hearing will be closed at 7:04. Individual action items. Superintendent, option of resolution 2024-2025, number 34. Board compensation for missed meeting for Dwayne Nguyen on April 15, 2025.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bell. Mrs. Houston. In favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Adoption of resolution 2024-2025, number 35, board compensation for the missed meeting for Greg TP on April 15, 2025. Motion by Mr. Lee. Motion by Mr. Nguyen, second by Mr. Giles.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Individual action items. Individual action items, human resources. Approval of assistant principal.
Aaron Hirsch.
Motion by Mr. TP, seconded by Mr. Giles.
Oh, Mrs. Hirsch is currently an assistant principal at Parkview Elementary in the Wainimi, did I say that right? Wainimi Elementary School District, and been in elementary education for the last 25 years serving as a teacher. She's founded Lego robotics programs in 3 different school districts, focusing on hands-on and STEM-based learning. She is proudest of her family. Her son, Nathan, is a successful mechanic. Daniel is a Moore Park College student in the Animal Behavior Science program and starting an internship working with birds in Ireland after he graduates in June. Her 2 daughters, Emily and Audrey, are highly involved in theater and drama at their high school. Lastly, her husband, Ken, is an IT project manager for private and public schools in LA and San Francisco counties. She's passionate about traveling and hiking to discover new places and see new things. Whenever she has a chance, Erin is out on a new trail with her golden retriever, wonderfully named Sparty, because she's from Michigan. Go Spartans. Erin's here with us tonight.
Thank you for inviting me and for having me this evening. I'm very excited to be a part of the Lancaster School System. Excited to find out I have a fellow Spartan with me. Go green, go white. And I just can't wait to get started, and I'm looking forward to serving the students at Mariposa. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Welcome, Ms. Hurst. Motion passes 5-0. Approval of assistant principal.
Michael Garcia. Unfortunately, Mr. Garcia is not here tonight. He had an emergency IEP that he had to be attending, and it's 6.5 hour drive. He sends his regards and thanks. So moved.
Second by Mr. Moon.
Mr. Garcia has been in education for 28 years and currently serves as the assistant principal at Linda Verde Elementary School in Marysville, where he supports both academic and behavioral programs, coaches teachers, and helps build a positive school culture. One of his proudest accomplishments was leading the implementation of a school-wide PBS framework that significantly reduced behavior referrals and improved school climate. He is proud of the relationships he's built with staff and students, making a conscious effort to be approachable, consistent, and solution-focused, even when the going is tough. That's helped him create trust, and trust moves the work forward. Outside of school, he's passionate about personal growth, leadership, and staying active, whether it's hiking, playing sports, or new food adventures. You can always count him in for a good podcast, a great book, or any excuse to laugh.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. To go approval of variable term waiver, 2025-2026 school year. Amanda Blanchard, reading literacy authorization, Joshua Elementary. Talia Reyes, reading literacy authorization, elementary school. Jennifer Lopez, bilingual authorization, Spanish undergirding. And we have Adrian Lopez Rosales, bilingual authorization, Spanish learning. Motion by Mr. Nguyen, second by Mr. Tifu. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Approval provisional internship permit 2025-2026 school year.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Giles, second by Mr. Nguyen. All in favor?
Aye.
This is 5-0. Addressing the board. Individuals who wish to address the board may complete a speaker card and present it and any supporting documents to the superintendent's assistant and or other district official prior to the start of the meeting. Personal information such as a student, parent, guardian's name, address, phone number, date of birth, email address, or other director information is defined in Education Code 49061 may be excluded from the minutes of the meeting by submitting a written request to the superintendent. The board president shall recognize individuals who wish to speak. Individuals wishing to present testimony to the board concerning specific items on the agenda may do so once that item has been moved, seconded, and is on the floor for discussion. Time limits of 3 minutes per person and 20 minutes per item shall be allowed. Board bylaws 9.3-2. Board members may ask questions for clarification purposes. However, no action may be taken and no discussion may take place on an item not on the posted agenda. Brown Act. Comments from PTA? CSEA? Cal? Comments from the audience?
There are no comments this evening.
Consent agenda items, superintendent items 18A through 18I. Motion by Mr. Nguyen. Second by Ms. Schuessler.
Just to confirm the oath of affirmation means that
Not sure who can deal with it. I think the judge is even on there, isn't it? Making us do it with pretended or it's him, basically.
It's okay, I'm a doctor.
He's been trained. Been trained for that. It's fine. I guess it's like, what if I want my buddy, Judge Jackson, retired, that wants to come back Hey, I was. That's what we used to do, right? It was fun. Oh, now we can't. Well, we can have them do it, and we just have people do it.
Do it twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they went to college.
That your only question, Mr. Williams?
Yeah,
All right, awesome.
I love.
All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Consent agenda items, business items 19A through 19AB. Motion?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Seifert, second by Mr. Giles. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Consent agenda items, educational services, items 20A through 20AC. Motion? Motion by Mr. Nguyen, second by Mr. T. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Consent agenda items, human resource services, items 21A through 21E.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Giles, second by Ms. Houston. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Agenda items, student and family services, items 28 through 22Q, except for K and M.
Moved.
Motion by Mr. Giles. Second by Mr. Nguyen. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Legislation policy discussion. And then we'll move right over to comments from the board and superintendent. And we'll start out with Mr. Nguyen.
Oh. Good to be back. Thank you very much for your and then for both sides. Actually, I can't imagine your job being easy. I can't imagine your job being easy with all the new ways of attacking computers. But I appreciate what you're doing. You came to us from Lockheed, is that right? So, thank you. That was a good place. The boss I had at the Antelope Valley Hospital when I worked in the medical or in the data center also came from Lockheed, and he changed that whole hospital completely. It's good to see we had a +9 on our attendance from the last meeting. Almost over 15,000 again. Still amazing that we have 707 military people in our school district coming from Edwards or part of Edwards. It's amazing. Thank you for Endeavor for their good teaching. It's a very good. Finally, for A teachers, it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and I really appreciate teachers. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nguyen. Mrs. Houston.
2017. But really enjoyed that. I've seen it in action, and I know you guys are doing a great job with that. Training, your general education and special education. Everybody went. So it's a very, very good program. I'm glad that you. Dr. Goins, thank you so much for telling us, giving us a little bit of background information on PLA and on what's going to happen with the kids. And I think there's going to be some challenges, and we'll face them when we get to them. Brandon, wonderful. I will tell you that I've taken into my personal life all of the little fishing expeditions that you used to do. So he teaches us a lot. I'm just going to say that. It was frustrating sometimes when you'd be in a big hurry and hit on it, but that's exactly what happens. So, being really vigilant to make sure that we don't allow access. Is an amazing job that you guys are doing. New admins, congratulations. It was nice to see that there are some new assistant principals coming in, and from out of district, so they'll bring some things we like and some things that maybe are a little bit different, and I think that that's a really good thing. It brings in some fresh ideas.
Yeah, likewise, neat to see the program at Endeavor. It's neat to see the regular teachers and resource teachers working together and collaborating, and the kids participating in different ways. Also in the sports, that was really exciting. So they are definitely integrating, and it looks like it's working really well. Also, thank you and your staff and team for everything you do. Was very eye-opening to see all the different things that you guys are responsible for. So hats off, and you guys make it look easy. So you're doing a great job. So thank you. And I know school sites are attacked. I know even school sites in our valley have been, cyber attacked and whatnot. So you guys are doing a great job, and thank you for updating our security with this way. So I look forward to learn how to use these little keys and stuff. Thank you. And welcome to the new assistant principals. Looks like they're bringing a lot of energy, and I'm interested in what kind of birds are in Ireland. I thought that was kind of interesting. And also it was neat to see the PBIS that they used at the previous schools. So we're seeing that too. With that, and teachers, we love you. Keep up the great work.
Mr. God.
Okay, yeah, well, everybody said all the things I wanted to say, so on that. I did want to say a thing about Brandon. I know he sends out the email to do this two-factor thing. So yeah, I'm not clicking on that until I make sure I talk to him first, because he's going to get me. So I've learned, as Julie has learned, he's been doing that for a while. So yeah, I'm not clicking anything. I don't care if it says district. And I did get a phishing one the other day that's, said Mrs. Starlson was needing some cash. Figured that wasn't her, but just clicked on it for fun. No, I didn't. So yeah, it's all good. But I love the district. Sometimes it's fun. But I also wanted to, the only thing anybody didn't point out was we did have 6 proclamations, and the teachers get a day and a week, and the nurses get a day, the classified school employees get a week, Asian American Public Islanders get a month, and the better hearing and speech people get a month. So congratulations to all our resolution recipients, and they all do a great job, and we appreciate them. And thank you for all the information we got. And once again, congratulations to our new admin. And also congratulations to our ACES award winners. It's always fun to give out, see people get awards that people really appreciate, our people in our district. It's always good to see them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Marriott.
Yes, I want to thank Endeavor for coming out and talking about co-teaching. Back in the 1990s, I actually had an opportunity, special education co-teachers, and brought back all the great memories of co-teaching. I also want to thank Dr. Gwines for spearheading the closure of TLA. You know, we have those students dispersed back into our Cubs program throughout our district. And, you know, the initial results of that is they're doing really well. And they have access to all the resources that all the other students have at the comprehensive school sites. So we're really hoping that the success of the Cubs programs continues with the addition of our TLA students. And we have every indication that it's going to continue. So, and then Mike, it's Port Hueneme, so you know, Port Hueneme. We just want to appreciate and celebrate all of our classified employees and our certificated employees. I know it's classified students, classified employees and teacher appreciation, but you know, it's for all of our staff members and all the great work they do with our kids. So we want to just celebrate and appreciate them. So thank you.
I don't say. So basically, just echoing on everything that everyone else had to say. A lot of the reports today. It was most definitely a really good presentation by Endeavor. I really like that program that they're. So congratulations to Endeavor for all the progress that they're making. Thank you to iLead for verifying the progress that they're making as well. Thank you, Dr. Goins, for your report on TLA. Appreciate all the work that you put forward to making sure that was taken care of. So appreciate it. Other than that, I had an opportunity to get over to Joshua for their salsa competition. That was really, really good and hot, very hot. But it was really a great success. Kids were performing and dancing, so that was pretty awesome. We also had an event this past Saturday, was the Read and Count Literacy is here at Parkview, another successful event. So didn't have an opportunity to make it out. We should have one more. Oh, you'll have to meet us next year. We have food distribution taking place on Friday, Sam? Yes, food distribution. So we'll have food distribution here at the Parkview campus. So you come out, send someone that may need something. We'll be out there ready to serve as usual. Other than that, congratulations to coming on, Garcia and Hurst. So welcome. And our ACE Award winners, our ACES Award winners as well. And again, echoing Teacher Appreciation Week. I get to wake up to a great Teacher of the Year for Discovery Elementary Campus every day. So that's pretty awesome. So I really appreciate all the work that's put out and the great jobs that our teachers. We had quite a few teachers get those awards over the last month. So congratulations to that. Other than that, that is about it. I wish everyone a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. So enjoy your weekend. I guess we'll see you back next week. And we will recess to closed session. No, I'm sorry. Can I get a motion? God, they're quick with it right now. Yeah, we got a motion with Mr. Giles and we got a second with Mr. Nguyen. There's no argument there. All in favor? Aye. Recess to closed session at 7:27 p.m. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're just recessed to close. We're just closed. We're going to adjourn. You see, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
So,
All good.
yeah. We're just going to go home.